this Wednesday, the 24th day of June 2026. But first, let's have a look at what's making headlines at this hour. Stories tonight. NRM candidate leads preliminary results in Kalangala woman MP by-election. Museveni appoints Kasolo acting Minister for Foreign Affairs. Parliament Administration Act. MPs seek changes in election of leader of opposition. And Kabaka of Uganda warns against rising abductions and kidnappings in the country. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has revealed that the First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni, is recovering well after what he describes as an attack on her life 3 months ago. In a birthday message marking Mama Janet's 78th birthday, the President thanked God for saving her life. In a 3-paged letter on the President's X account, Mr. Museveni praised the First Lady for her role in the family and public service. Take a watch.
The President has used his birthday message to First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni to give an update on her recovery. The President said Mama Janet is recovering well after what he described as an attack on her life on March 21st, 2026. Museveni said God, working through doctors, saved her life. He tied the date to the history of the resistance, recalling that March 21st was also the day that his forces defeated Idi Amin's counterattack at Rugando near Mbarara in 1979. The message titled From Omugurusi Ampa to Mama Jinga marked Janet Museveni's 78th birthday. Museveni thanked God for her life, remembering the early loss of her father, Mzee Edward Kataha, in 1955 and the years that followed. He also recalled Christmas Day in 1972, when he says he reconnected with Janet outside the Intercontinental Hotel in Nairobi. According to Museveni, the two had known each other from Ntungamo and had studied at Chamate in 1958, but Uganda's troubled politics had separated them. He described the meeting as a miraculous reconnection that later gave him a family of 4 children and 15 grandchildren. The President praised Janet Museveni for caring for the children during the 1981 and 1986 Bush War, when she was alone in exile while he was in the bush. He also commended her work with USO, her contribution to the NRM politics in Ntungamo, and her religious work. Museveni ended the message with a prayer that he and the First Lady live to 100 years, saying that he hopes they will witness the birth of the East African Federation. He described the Federation as Africa's insurance against future domination and marginalization.
The State Minister for Sports in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Peter Ogwang, has praised the work done by the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, in promoting national development. He made the remarks at KCCA grounds, Lugogo, during an event organized to thank God for her life and celebrate her 78th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mama. Happy birthday to you.
Today marks the 78th birthday of the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, with different groups and organizations organizing celebrations to honor and appreciate her contribution.
The power of service and patriotism. May God continue to bless her with good health, wisdom, strength, and many more years of impact.
The event took place at KCCA grounds in Lugogo and brought together various guests led by State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, and other attendees who praised her for the major contribution she has made to education and sports in Uganda. As chief guest, Peter Ogwang said Janet Museveni has played a significant role in transforming Uganda's education sector through the construction of new schools and initiatives aimed at supporting vulnerable children to access better opportunities.
At all times, she keeps on reminding us, you must mind about your country. She reminds us the history of Uganda. She reminds us on where, as young people, we must strive to achieve.
He added that Janet Museveni also made a notable contribution to the transformation of the Karamoja region during her tenure as minister responsible for the area and wished her good health to continue serving the country.
To celebrate with us on behalf of Mama for giving us Mama. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday.
Meanwhile, Brigadier General Charity Bainababo commended the youth group Gen Z for Gen 7 for organizing activities to recognize and celebrate Janet Museveni for her service to the country.
Thank you, young people, for thinking of this, to celebrate Mama, to remember that at one point in your lives, when you felt hopeless, Mama was there. So we celebrate you, Mama. We thank God for you.
Some of the event organizers from Gen Z for Gen 7, led by Israel Charisima, said the celebration was intended to appreciate Janet Kataha Museveni's service, especially her support for the girls' education.
She has been a great pillar to the nation. She's a great visionary, and she has impacted a lot of lives, mostly to the orphans. Like when she started the USO, she has been a great champion in fighting HIV/AIDS. So we felt like we as Gen Zs, we have to come up and celebrate Mama.
Participants also thanked God for Janet Museveni's 78 years of life before cutting a birthday cake. The celebrations also featured different sports activities involving various groups including Parliament, border riders, youth and market vendors, with winners receiving prizes and medals. Joseph Muyingo compiled the story.
Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in a letter dated 22nd June 2026, has appointed the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Haruna Kasolo, as Acting Minister for Foreign Affairs in the absence of a substantive minister. The appointment of Honorable Kasolo was premised on the powers vested in the President in Article 90, subsection 1 of the 1995 Constitution. Under delegation of powers in the subsequent clauses of Article 99, the President may exercise directly or delegate functions to subordinate officers such as cabinet ministers. The appointment followed cited legal technicalities in the Migration and Citizenship Control Act that bars any person with two citizenships from holding a ministerial cabinet position or security office, that saw the appointment of Ambassador Adonia Ayebare as Minister of Foreign Affairs in the new ruling NRM government, alleged to be holding an American dual citizenship, put on hold for further consultations. Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, has called upon all responsible ministers and government officials to support Tororo Cement to establish a cement factory in Karamoja in Moroto district. Nabanja says this will empower the people of Karamoja to get rid of poverty in the region. The Prime Minister today spent part of the day inspecting the Tororo Cement factory, still undergoing construction in Katikikire, Moroto district. We have more in this story.
Karamoja sub-region is one of the areas endowed with limestone used in the manufacture of cement, especially by Tororo Cement. With the support from the government of Uganda, the proprietors of Tororo Cement decided to establish a factory close to the source of the raw materials. Today, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, spent part of the day inspecting Tororo Cement factory, which is still undergoing construction in Katikikire in Moroto district.
The President is aware we are here. He appreciates your work, and that's why we are here to support you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The President said, Kisanja, no more sleep. Yes. We did not sleep. Yes, nobody will ask for anything from you here. I'm telling you. So we appreciate your work. Yes. I'm happy that you have employed our people.
Yes.
especially our Karachunas.
Yes. Nabanja called upon all responsible ministers and government officials to support Tororo Cement to establish a cement factory in Karamoja in Moroto district.
The way the president is so particular, let me use that word for lack of a better word, he's so convinced that Tororo Cement will give us some push when it comes to economic development and industrialization.
The Prime Minister was accompanied by the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Monica Mosenero, State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, State Minister for Works, Siraje Musa Ali, and Minister for Karamoja Affairs, John Baptiste Roki.
In as far as Karamoja is concerned, the main hurdle, which was stifling development in Karamoja, has been removed. It was the illegal gun. But His Excellency the President took a decisive action to remove all the illegal guns. By now we wouldn't be here. Here all would be fire. You would be scared running here. So we thank His Excellency the President and the UPDF and all security agencies for taking a decisive action, for the dedication, the sacrifice to remove illegal guns. Now the ground in Karamoja is level for investment to take shape. And
for the investors that we have around the globe, I would like to tell them, come and invest in Uganda. There is no other country safe, secure and steady how the development happens in this country. So please kindly consider Uganda as your first priority to invest in Africa. And if it is East Africa, it has to be Uganda.
We are supposed to construct a 132 kV transmission line. The ministry has already transferred 80 billion to ETCL.
We have been the one on the ground, and I'm happy to hear from my son Manesh that the cooperation and involvement with the investor is 100%. And they don't have any doubt that we have given them maximum cooperation as directed by His Excellency the President.
So on behalf of the President,
yes,
of the Republic of Uganda, it is my honor to officially launch the construction of this dam is called Katkeke Dam.
And it will impound 1 billion liters.
Yes. 1 billion.
1 billion liters. When it rains and it is full and starts spilling, it will impound 1 billion liters. So if it is full, even if it doesn't rain for 2.5 years, yes, I'll still be supplying water to the factory without any problem.
Good.
Thank you.
That's good. That's good.
Nabanja also raised concerns regarding the shoulder works, which was done on Moroto Road. Some section of the road, constructed about 5 years ago, is already peeling off.
This road is very new. You, the contractors who are coming here to give us shoulder work, to take our money and repatriate it. Now, the company that did that work, for me, I'm going to call them to come and see. You cannot come and steal our country and our watch. They're still here. I'm telling you, this must stop. How do you give us a road and just 5 years it's not there? This time we are going to make a value for money audit on that road.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Botho Booth, has warned the members of the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU, a pressure group led by the Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, not to dare undermine the NRM government, but rather work closely with the party in power for the betterment of Uganda. To his doubters, Oboth has requested for more time as he settles in his new assignment. Botho Booth was presiding over the handover ceremony of the PLU Secretary General this afternoon at their offices in Naguru, Kampala.
The Patriotic League of Uganda offices in Nakuru, Kampala have been a happy place this Wednesday afternoon as hundreds of loyalists gathered to witness the inauguration of the General Secretary. The Wednesday event attracted the attendance of the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Oboth. Oboth's arrival was followed by the entrance of the incoming General Secretary, Twala Fadil. The fully packed ceremony was honoured by attendance of over 25 members of cabinet.
PLU has consistently complemented national efforts aimed at advancing development and improving the lives of our people.
God bless PLU. Excited to be here to see that my younger brother Fadil
and the Minister Office of the Vice President, congratulations Honorable Fadil and congratulations to the PLU community. Congratulations my son Fadil.
The Deputy Attorney General, member of the Central Executive Committee of PLU representing Uganda Region,
Anifa Bangirana, Minister of State, General Duties.
I'm glad to be here and I would like to congratulate my brother Honorable Twala Fadil.
We stand together with PLU and we are going to fight corruption in this country.
PLU is for peace, development and zero tolerance to corruption and impunity in our country.
NRM Central Executive Committee members Salimu Uhuru, Alinaite Rakajara, Odwin Kovsinje, Lieutenant Moses Mushabe and retired Major Paula Awichi represented the top leadership of the NRM party.
Thank you, General MK, for appointing Fadil.
We have come here today to witness what you are doing, the appointment of the General Secretary.
For members of Parliament in the 12th Parliament dominated the day's attendance.
And I want to thank NRM, the Central Committee, for always cooperating with PLU. You have given us an opportunity to work with you.
We are here today to witness a transition, a transfer of responsibility that carries the full weight of PLU's movement's future and indeed the future of Uganda.
In the absence of the outgoing General Secretary Daudi Kabanda, the office was handed over by the Director in charge of Mobilization, Michael Mawanda, an event presided by Council Edwin Karujire.
Excellent. When I took over offices as the first General Secretary of PLU, I remember feeling a mix of excitement and challenge.
Raised from the humble district of Kapchora in Sebesa region, Fadil considers his elevation as a working of God. The CDF General host Kanilugaba and his voters of Tingate County.
I'm deeply humbled and honored to stand before you today as I assume the office of General Secretary of Patriotic League of Uganda.
Fadil now says he will focus on building party structures, promote the organization's core principles of non-tolerance to corruption, development and national unity, youth empowerment, among others.
You are not to be a ceremonial secretary. You are to be an engine of economic transformation.
The Speaker of the 12th Parliament, Right Honourable Jacob Oboth, graced the PLU General Secretary inauguration event as the chief witness.
I thank Honourable David Kabanda for his years of dedicated service as the pioneer Secretary General of PLU. He set a high standard for this position.
Oboth wants the incoming General Secretary to brave for whatever task lies ahead of him.
PLU stands for unity, and unity is not a slogan. It is a weapon. Use that weapon well.
To the pressure group, Speaker Oboth has warned them against undermining the government in power, but rather calling them to support its moves to anchor its mandate as an unelected government.
You are here to support the NRM government and not to undermine it. You can see the SEC members.
And to his doubters as the Speaker of the 12th Parliament, Oboth speaks with his one heart.
So give me some time. Don't push me too much. You will see results.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thanks, Onyango, for that story there. Now, members of Parliament affiliated to the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU, have served the clerk to Parliament seeking leave of Parliament to table a private member's bill aimed at amendment of the Parliament Administration Act. Led by Buyaga West County Member of Parliament Dennis Namara, the bill seeks to overturn the legal framework of the Leader of Opposition of, among others, consulting other opposition parties in voting the lope and accountability of the office of the Leader of Parliament.
As per the Administration of Parliament Act Article 82A of the Constitution, Parliament is to exist under the multi-party system with the Leader of Opposition. Subject to subsection 23, the Leader of Opposition shall be elected by the party in opposition with the greatest numerical strength in Parliament, with consultations from other opposition political parties and independent members of Parliament. However, according to some members of Parliament led by Buyaga West County MP Dennis Namara, they cited that the existing Leader of Opposition did not follow the law.
Right now what's happening is that the Leader of Opposition is not chosen by the opposition political parties. Neither through consultation. The Leader of Opposition is selected from Kavule by some few individuals without consulting other opposition members of Parliament.
Following this, they have served the Clerk of Parliament seeking leave of Parliament to table a private member's bill moving the amendment of the Administration of Parliament Act.
We are coming up with a motion to amend that particular provision, Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, to provide how elaborately the Leader of Opposition has to be chosen. And that has to be an election where the opposition members of Parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of Parliament. The same law did not provide how all political parties are consulted when constituting the membership of the committees of Parliament. What is happening now? Still people go to Kavule and elect and decide who goes on which committee of Parliament.
MPs cite that the bill also seeks to amend on how the LOP can be removed from office, showing accountability of the budget allocated to the LOP's office, among other concerns.
The Leader of Opposition of that office has a budget of about 4 billion Uganda shillings. That money is drawn from the consolidated fund. Therefore, there must be an oversight by Parliament in as far as how that money is spent, whether there is value for money or not.
You saw what happened within the Parliament. Every stone was touched. So even those who access government resources while hiding behind elements of opposition, the stone will be turned.
However, the Bali constituency MP Charles Tebandeke says the private member's bill by the honorable MPs is unnecessary.
Maybe they just want to provide in the amendment to cater for their spirit as a PLU within the law. But if it is in the spirit of the law, in consideration with the law of justice, democratic principles, whichever they are seeking for is provided within the law. So what is so foreign, what is new that they want to provide in the law is not so clear. I think this is a political move.
Both the 10th and the 11th Parliament tabled a bill of the sort, but all in vain, where Tebandeke says Parliament should be respected rather than being used as a playground.
Parliament should not be used as a rubber stamp, that for whoever wants to stamp any other document must run into Parliament as a dustbin to accommodate whichever dust that wants to be thrown in line with fake laws. When making laws, it shouldn't, the law shouldn't have any eye of looking at a particular person, but the law must always come in the spirit of togetherness, generosity, to create sanity and justice within the country.
Linus Ngopek, Member of Parliament for Chibanda North County, is said to be one of the seconders of this bill, highlighting that it's not fighting anyone.
Whoever receives public funds must be accountable because you're using public resources. So that is our stand.
Rebecca Natongo, Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
We'll remain with the August House momentarily, where Parliament is yet to register a third attempt to amend the Administration of Parliament Act to change the mode of elections of the Leader of Opposition in Parliament. Now, the move, if effected, could be the first controversial legislation of the 12th Parliament months after its establishment. The last attempt was a private member's bill introduced by Richard Lumo, the then legislator for Mityana South, which hit a dead end. Take a watch.
In the 11th Parliament, the then Mityana South legislator Richard Lumo introduced the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2024 to change the mode of electing the Leader of Opposition.
There is also another problem where two parties bring equal numbers of MPs. For example, if DPMI party manages to bring 30 and NUP also brings 30, the law, the way it stands now, we cannot get a Leader of Opposition.
The move was highly witnessed as a witch hunt on the Nakawa West MP Joel Senyonyi, who was the then Leader of Opposition. The MPs in the 11th Parliament expressed mixed reactions on the expeditious process of the legislation.
Honourable Speaker, what is so special with this amendment of Lumu, which was generated in Gulu just within a month, and it is now on the order paper?
The certificate of financial implication was given very fast. All the documents were processed very fast. So what is that interest?
The then Parliamentary Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, chaired by Stephen Baka Mugabe, initiated the scrutiny of the bill, which all witnesses disagreed with the move. Also, the then FDC Chief Whip, Yusuf Nsibambi, and legal experts, including from the National Resistance Movement, disagreed with the move to amend Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, citing intentions to dilute the available multi-party space.
Really subjecting election of such an important leader who is supposed to now pass on government, alternative government policy and do all the checks in the hands of different political parties with different manifestos, actually with different challenges. They have even their own political issues internally. So I think that is going to cause more confusion in Parliament.
There is a popular vote to it, and you cannot purport to take that away. And so we think that an attempt to then subject that Leader of Opposition to the other political parties in the House would effectively be stripping the other political party of its right and power in some sense.
Even for democratic growth, it's not a good thing when you legislate targeting an individual, because you will want to push this law through to target Joel Senyonyi, but tomorrow he's not the one going to be in this office. It might be you or some of those that have sponsored this bill. Then what happens?
At the tail end of the 11th Parliament, the private member Richard Lumo withdrew the bill, having been guided by the Attorney General's office.
Madam Speaker, with that, I accordingly seek permission that the bill be withdrawn. Thank you very much.
I could not allow the Leader of Opposition, for example, to be elected by all members of the Parliament. And when I saw some people, that's what they were intending.
In the wake of the 12th Parliament, the spirit to make similar amendments in the Administration of Parliament Act has resurfaced. A section of members of Parliament subscribing to the Patriotic League of Uganda movement is treading the same path.
And that has to be an election where the opposition members of Parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of Parliament. Because practically, independent members of Parliament belong to the opposition, but they are never consulted.
The 12th Parliament is in its early stages of warming the bench. However, attention is on the controversial legislation if effected. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Thank you, Daniel, for that story there. Now, UBC News Tonight takes a short break, but we will be returning with a lot more. Just stay with us.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omulirongo ulira muli mumotema kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBD 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
Listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
There's a new way to keep your breath fresh all day. Introducing Movit All Day Toothpaste, meant to give you powerful night gum defense and teeth whitening. The charcoal flavor gives you deep cleansing and power stain removal. And the herbal delivers natural strength for healthy, confident smiles. Choose Movit All Day Toothpaste and enjoy freshness all day.
Every life begins in a moment like this. Certain, planned, full of promise. For us, it's a bold ambition to make lives better. Because somewhere, someone is stepping into a world of work for the first time with the confidence that their retirement is taken care of. We make dreams possible. From owning homes to scaling businesses. And when health takes an unexpected turn, help is there when it's needed most. And because legacies matter, what people build does not end with them. It's passed on. We value moments with go-getters, bold dreamers and believers. Different paths, different rhythms, with one shared belief that financial freedom is within reach. For 40 years, we've made lives better and fueled Uganda's economy. Through careful investment, we have supported businesses, created jobs, and backed our nation. To us, it's more than saving. It's believing in effort, in patience, in possibility. It's making lives better. We believe in you, in us, and in Uganda.
NSSF, 40 years of making lives better.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma. Now, moving on, the Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, has received gene expert diagnostic machines aimed at strengthening the detection and treatment of tuberculosis within its health facilities. The equipment was officially handed over at the Senior Officers Diagnostic Center in Mbuya during a ceremony attended by senior military health officials, representatives from the Ministry of Health, Development Partners and medical personnel. Speaking at the event, Colonel Dr. Francis Xavier Bakehena, Head of Public Health and Director of the HIV/AIDS program in the UPDF, who represented the Joint Staff Health Services, called the Gene Expert machines a timely intervention that will significantly improve TB diagnosis and management within the force.
We have planned to have our own mobile TB clinic. It was in the pipeline, but again with the support from DOD, we put in a request through the current fund that we are supposed to get to purchase 4 more TB trucks. Just allay fears that we'll use these machines as they are provided to us, as we have been using them, of course, in other areas. We'll make sure we safeguard them and provide their safety and make sure we relieve the burden of TB in UPDF. We want to keep working cordially with URC, with Ministry of Health, with DOD, and SEFAD to make sure we improve the health of our personnel, both who are in operational areas and those who are within working in our departments.
This equipment, I hope, like the engineer has said, will go beyond TB. As you said, there are 45 different pathogens that the equipment is capable of diagnosing, and it would be good if we are even able to start using it for Ebola as well.
On behalf of the laboratory fraternity in UPDF, for the support we have so far got from DOD, Department of War, Ministry of Health, and UPDF Joint Staff Health Services leadership, plus the UPDF as a whole, we have always got tremendous support in our activity, given the fact that laboratory is actually very key.
Government ministries, departments and agencies have been urged to provide physical infrastructure in addition to Posta Uganda infrastructure, where government can put a Service Uganda Center to bring all government services closer to the people. During a meeting with MDS for the establishment and operationalization of Kampala Service Uganda Center held at Records and Archive Center in Wandegea, the Assistant Commissioner Management Services, Minister of Public Services, Sarah Luanga Nalutu, said there is going to be integration of all government services into a system by NITA Uganda.
Government, through the Ministry of Public Service, has embarked on establishing Public Service Uganda centers across the country in implementing a 2019 Cabinet decision of government reform through establishing 19 Service Uganda centers across the country. One regional center of Hoima is already up and running. Kasese has the pilot, and by the end of this financial year, they plan to have established 2 public service centers of Jinja and Rukunjiri. Physical works for Kampala Center at the Post Office building is at 95% and expected to be handed over by 21st July. The main aim of establishing these centers is to take services closer to the people, but other reasons are to reduce costs incurred by having silo regional offices for government institutions.
It came in and it said government visibility must come with the services going at a regional level to ease their access by the citizens of Uganda. Of having silo regional offices by the different ministries, departments and agencies was a cost to government.
Government decided to have the Service Uganda centers established in post office infrastructure countrywide because most of the structures are lying idle with the advancement in technology. Establishment of these centers is whole government approach to service delivery. Commissioner Management Services, Minister of Public Service, Kakama Allen Joy, says services expected at the centers are those that attract crowds.
In the area of pension, the payroll and the structures, those are areas that pull crowds at the Ministry of Public Service. Go to Ministry of Works, for example. The driving license is key. The registration of vehicles is key. Those are some of. So every time we work with an institution, we pick out what are those that pull a lot of crowds.
Madeline Mugisha, Project Manager Service Center Uganda from NITAU, says they plan to digitalize the centers to move from many windows to one and no window.
And the more we, get feedback and refine our processes as the centers grow, we want someone from NIRA to be able to serve a client that wants a TIN. Yeah? We want someone who wants a driving permit to be able to give out a passport, because we'll have unified that window using a solution we call UG Hub that is powered by NITA.
Meanwhile, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has been applauded for providing visibility to the reform through its programs. Ministries, departments and agencies have been urged to delegate a number of competent staff to the centers who are at senior level, plan budgets and operationalize wage. I'm Nafka Farida and Daniel Gemwa in Kampala.
The Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II, has appeared before the public during a meeting with the clan leaders Abataka. In his address, the Kabaka spoke about various issues in the country, including violations of human rights and abductions, and advises responsible authorities to ensure that such practices are brought to an end. The meeting was held at the Kabaka's Palace in Mengo. We have more in this story.
Drums sounded early at the Kabaka's Palace in Mengo as the clan leaders prepared for a meeting with His Majesty the Kabaka. At around midday, the Kabaka moved out of the Twekowe house amid the sound of drums and traditional royal instruments. His Majesty addressed the clan heads and urged them to continue guiding their grandchildren to uphold and respect their culture.
Okuyigiriza n'okwagazisa bazzukulu bammwe empisa ennono ebyafaayo n'olulimi lwaffe.
The Kabaka also spoke about the increasing cases of abductions, kidnappings and violation of human rights, saying that such acts must be stopped.
Ensonga ey'okukwatira amateeka mu ngalo oba obutagoberera mateeka kintu kya bulabe. Tusaasira abo bonna abatyoboddwa mu ngeri eno. Tusaba bekikwatako okulaba nti ensi yaffe efugibwa ku nkola essa ekitiibwa mu bantu.
He expressed concern about unemployment among the youth and land grabbing. He urged his subjects to remain united.
Okwekengera nga mwe muli ekibbattaka, tulina ekizibu ky'obwavu, endwadde n'ebbula ly'emirimu mu bantu baffe abasinga obungi. Awo nno okusobola okuwaŋŋanga ebitusoomooza tusaanidde okutambulira awamu, era bwe tubanga tulina ensonga tusaanye okuwuliziganya n'okukolera awamu.
The Kabaka noted with satisfaction that despite the challenges facing young people, they continue to show love for the kingdom and support towards kingdom activities.
Kimpa essanyu lingi nnyo okulaba nga abavubuka ba Buganda bangi bettanira era bawagira nnyo Obwakabaka tubalinamu n'essuubi ddene.
On behalf of the clan leaders, the chairperson of their council, Omutaka Namwama Augustine Kizito Mutumba, expressed dissatisfaction over government delay to return Buganda's belongings.
Bannaffe balina obuyinza okusasula ssente zaffe ku nsonga ku by'obugagga bw'Obwakabaka ate ne batatusasula. Ne twesiŋŋaana ng'Obuganda bulina okunoonya ssente wano ne wali.
The clan leaders, together with their catechuls, attended the meeting. Joseph Chigozigola and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC.
Now on to land matters, and while investigating evidence and ownership claims surrounding a piece of land located in Kanaba Zone, Ndeje Parish, Machindi Sabagabo Municipality in Wachiso District, the Senior Presidential Assistant for Special Duties, Fiona Barungi, criticized one Kato Bumali and some government officials for allegedly using intimidation, harassment and unlawful arrest against individuals involved in the dispute. Among those reportedly affected is Police Officer ASP Avito Biejira, who she claims was harassed over a plot of land he purchased from the family of the late Sewamala Angelo.
Peter Chibanja, measuring approximately 8 acres, is said to have belonged to the late Sewamala Angelo. Following his death, the property was reportedly left to his children and grandchildren, including Robina Nachibirige Sewamala, who petitioned the office of the Senior Presidential Assistant for Special Duties seeking intervention in the ongoing conflict.
You don't aid land grabbing.
During a fact-finding visit to Kanaba village, Fiona Barungi said preliminary findings indicate that the matter is surrounded by numerous claims and counterclaims involving several individuals.
There was a lot of chaos. There are those who bought fraudulently. There are those who didn't use illegal, procedures of getting what they are supposed to get. It is a lot of mixture of a lot of things. So when I discovered that there were a lot of things that were happening, rotating around the ownership, I decided to call a meeting here.
At the meetings, all individuals claiming interests in the Chibanja were given an opportunity to explain how they acquired their respective plots.
Judgment is on zakolebwa ku ndagaano eyali enjinge jinge.
Ne tufayitinga ematinge era ne mbawangula.
Oyina endagaano?
Nina endagaano.
Eraga nti Hakimu yakuguza?
Ye madam.
Eri wase.
Kansoke nkumalira ebyo nandoza mikulu.
To property eno wali ojibira million 18 mmeka mutano. Has paid the vendor a full total purchase of price of 240 million. There's a problem with this document.
There are brokers that made a lot of chaos rotating around the ownership of the land, and they ended up cheating people.
Barungi directed all claimants to submit documentary proof detailing the process through which they obtained ownership or occupants' rights on the Chibanja.
I sent for everything. I told each of those people to compile for me a file so that I compare these files and get one decision.
Tension arose when Kato Bumali accused ASP Avito Biejira of taking over Chibanja he claims belongs to him.
Yakugwako bajiba Kigongo afuna share ye kuva mu family ajiguza omwami gwe bayita Damulira Idi katuwagula kwani.
Something. He doesn't have an agreement of the land, but whatever he was showing me was something to do with the leaders of the clan. The leaders of the clan and police sat down and gave him ownership of land.
This prompted Barungi to demand further verification of the documents, while strongly condemning what she described as the misuse of government offices to harass citizens.
Anti-corruption anti-corruption DPP's office. Office let them not handle what they are not supposed to handle. Corruption why don't they handle corruption? Bring a public water, and I don't care. He is arresting a senior police officer who has a right claim according to the papers that I saw. But I wonder how anti-corruption unit arrested that man.
The investigation into the Kanaba land dispute is ongoing, with all parties expected to submit additional evidence to support their claims as authorities work towards establishing the rightful ownership of the contested property. Crispus Arinitwe, Jamil Sekaja, reporting for UBC.
Now, questions surrounding eligibility for bail have resurfaced following the denial of bail to former Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago by the Machindi Chief Magistrates Court. Speaking to UBC, Dr. Ben Tusasirwe, a law lecturer at Makerere University School of Law and legal practitioner, explained that Uganda's constitution does not grant an automatic right to bail, but guarantees every accused person the right to apply for bail. Let's have more in this story.
Actually, when it comes to eligibility of people to stand as sureties,
in the wake of bail denial of Erias Lukwago, UBC crew sought to understand the legal gymnastics which are considered when granting bail to the accused. Dr. Ben Tusasirwe is a senior lecturer at the School of Law, Makerere University, and a legal practitioner. He notes that granting bail remains a matter of judicial discretion, guided by constitutional principles, bail guidelines, and court precedents.
The court just uses objective criteria and looks at the situation as a whole and says, is this a person who is in a position to responsibly remind the accused person to attend court? You don't have to be able to physically compel the person to attend court, but you should have enough social status for the person to know that when you remind them to go to court, they will. So I think that one she got right. Even the one of distance, she got right. There is no law which says you must be in the same locality, that you must be an immediate neighbor to stand surety. No. Again, the whole the question is objective. Are you in a position to communicate with this person? And you can communicate in many ways, by phone, physically, you can travel there.
He adds that while serious medical conditions are relevant considerations, they do not automatically entitle an accused person to bail. The judicial officers are expected to carefully evaluate medical reports alongside all other circumstances of the case when granting bail.
But you could question whether you cannot release a person on bail, especially when you have admitted that he has serious medical conditions, just because investigations are not completed. And to me, it's not enough. The saving factor is, she said, let them examine him. If they advise us that he needs to be out, then we can reconsider this question. So they still have that window. That's the mistake many people make. There is no constitutional right to bail. There is a constitutional right to apply for bail. But once you apply, whether or not you get bail is discretionary, is within the discretion of court.
On the offense of misprision of treason, Dr. Tusasirwe explains that it arises where a person has knowledge of treasonous activities but deliberately fails to report them to authorities within a reasonable time, an offense punishable by life imprisonment upon
Crispus Arinitwe with that story. Uganda's judiciary is implementing new policy reforms under the 2019 Civil Procedure Amendment with a focus on forensic evidence and alternative dispute resolution (ADR) as a means of reducing case backlog, accelerating resolutions and easing the financial burden on the country. Speaking during a training session for judicial officers organized by the Judicial Training Institute, the Chief Justice Flavian Nzija said the reforms are intended to bring a shift in judicial culture. With the judiciary's annual report showing a consistent increase in both registered and case backlog each year, Nzija emphasized that judicial officers must adopt a mediator's mindset to achieve meaningful and lasting change.
If It is worth noting that under the 2019 amendments, ADR is no longer just a suggestion. It is integrated into the core case management cycle. The summons for direction stage is the primary point of ADR referral. I call upon you to screen the cases at this stage to identify those suitable for early diversion to mediation. But we need to refocus. Just change your mindset. Have an ADR mindset. Look at the case when it comes before you, especially the registrars who are the first point of call. You can look at the case and you know that this case really can easily be settled. Some of them are very easy, like in family matters, all those. There are cases where you know that this case can be settled if the parties are willing. We must move away from the old unfortunate standard where cases would linger for years. Our collective goal now must be to minimize judicial time and ensure that every step in a suit from filing to final disposal serves the aim of substantive justice rather than procedural technicalities.
The interim reports that are being received indicate that over 30 billion shillings have so far been realized through the settlements. Now, that's the bit of the civil ADR. When we talk about the criminal ADR, which is by and large speaking to plea bargaining, plea bargaining has been a game changer in the criminal justice of this country. We were in Mubende with the Resident Judge Mubende and Lady Justice Jane Kajuga and myself. In 3 days, we were able to resolve 110 criminal cases, capital, in 3 days. Now, if you are to look at that in terms of economics, that's approximately 65 million Uganda shillings, an out-of-station criminal session.
The Ministry of Water and Environment is working to balance its mandate of delivering water, sanitation and hygiene services to an ever-growing population amid limited sector funding. Under its 2025-2030 strategic plan, the ministry needs about 12 trillion shillings to achieve universal wash access by 2030. However, current budget allocations stand at just 1.3 trillion shillings. As the ministry explores innovative financing options, it is calling on development partners, private sector players and other stakeholders to step in and help close the widening funding gap. Dr. Chimono gives us more.
The major focus as per the Ministry of Water and Environment's 2025-2030 strategic plan is on scaling up access to water, sanitation and hygiene, also called wash services, despite a massive financing shortfall. The plan targets 95% access to safe water in rural areas, 100% coverage in urban areas, and basic sanitation for 60% of Ugandans by 2030.
In urban areas, we want to move from 73% to 85%. Functionality, again, we want to increase it from around 84% to 90%.
It also aims to raise hand washing with soap to 80% of households and keep more than 90% of rural water points functional.
The first mile really, or the last mile, is where all is said and done. People must use the wash facilities. It doesn't matter moving the water from where it is. We put all these investments. If people can't do that last act, then we have a problem, which we also need to invest into, and that is the hygiene and the sanitation part.
What is the understanding at a family level? How can we get this to be done? She talked of 150 years planning. So we will discuss this thing until cows go home, unless we take it back home to the household level and to the family level. So my prayer is that as somebody who comes from the broadcasting point of view, we have a role to play. Coordination, making sure that the information is done. We are ready to join UNICEF and government to make sure that at the family level, the first seed is planted right there.
To get there, the ministry is shifting towards pipe-to-water schemes, solar-powered systems, and private sector involvement in sanitation and fecal sludge management.
Many areas are having aging infrastructure, so it needs to be rehabilitated and expanded. Wastewater and reuse, again we want to turn waste into products that can generate money, hygiene and sanitation marketing. Bulk water transfer and irrigation, we want to provide water for multipurpose uses and also support irrigation, farmer-led irrigation, so that we can improve productivity on the farm.
The Minister of State for Water, Aisha Sechindi, says Uganda's wash challenges are being worsened by climate change, population growth, and poor infrastructure, with 15% of rural water sources non-functional and urban systems unable to cope with demand.
Climate change is fundamentally a water crisis. Our traditional water sanitation and hygiene wash infrastructure was never engineered to withstand these extreme shifts.
During a national high-level dialogue on climate-resilient water and sanitation services in Uganda, it was established that continuous funding gaps could undermine this ambitious dream.
The amount of money we are getting is very little compared to the needs. 1.3 trillion, you need 11 trillion. That gap. And if we don't fill that gap, then we cannot deliver service. Right now, access to safe water still very low, 67%, and hasn't increased in rural areas. In urban areas, 72%. But we're also having challenges with too much water. That's why we want to invest in water harvesting. We want to invest in catchment protection and general management of water resources.
To bridge this gap,
I'm called Awidi Isabella. I'm studying from Villa Maria School of Nursing. I've won a school fees with the MTN Momo. This school fees you win for a full year, which I'm very happy for it. I thank MTN Momo for helping me in paying my school fees.
We've paid all the fees for the year.
Thank you very much, because on Wednesday, the principal told me, look for my man and bring my man. I told her, no, I don't have man, and you have to wait until I get the money. But when I left our office, at 3, they called me that you have won the money from Momo. I said, how does it happen?
As long as you pay school fees using Momo, you stand a chance to win school fees for a year. Dial *165 *80# to win school fees for a year and more.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UGPass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UGPass, your identity secured. Available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UGPass is a product of Nita Uganda.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential. With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You
can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Welcome back from that break, and you're watching news here on UBC TV. Sports news now. And MTN Uganda has reaffirmed its commitment to expanding digital access across the country by contributing over 54.2 billion shillings to the Uganda Communications Commission's Universal Service and Access Fund. The contribution is aimed at supporting ICT connectivity, particularly in rural and underserved communities. Our reporter has the details.
MTN Uganda has contributed 54.27 billion Uganda shillings to the Uganda Communications Commission's Universal Service and Access Fund, commonly known as UCUSAF. The contribution was announced during a handover ceremony at the Uganda Communications Commission headquarters in Kampala and represents the company's highest annual contribution to date.
Conversation we have been having with government, first of all, it's about making sure that the local assembly of funds that is being done within Uganda is funds that are able to meet the customer expectation, because obviously customers are judging us by the international standards of the devices that they have access to. So we are supporting the government's work around driving the local assembly of devices, but over and above that is also making sure that we don't burden the customer with any additional taxation, so that we then bring down the cost of the device. So,
under Uganda's telecommunications regulations, operators are required to contribute 2% of their annual gross revenue to the fund, which supports access to communication services and digital infrastructure across the country.
If only our average revenue, and that metric indicates affordability, that our people, if our affordability level was to a level of $5 per month, you'd imagine what would be these checks. The check of 54 billion we received today probably would be 100 billion. But we will be there. We will be there because the government is doing a lot of interventions to enhance affordability of the common person.
MTN's Sylvia Mulinge noted that despite progress in connectivity, millions of Ugandans remain excluded from the digital space and called for greater efforts to make smartphones more affordable. Over the past 3 years, MTN Uganda says it has invested more than 4 billion Uganda shillings in innovation and digital skills programs.
Now, preparations for the 10th Woodball World Cup are in high gear as the Uganda Woodball Federation intensifies training ahead of the Global Championship in Malaysia. Take a watch.
Uganda Woodball Federation has identified a squad of 16 players following a series of national trials. The team comprises 8 men and 8 women who will represent Uganda at the tournament.
This is of great honor for the country to be represented. The government has fully funded the Uganda Woodball Federation in regards to all its activities.
The boys group has Brian Gwaka, Daniel Apita, Bridge Biamukama, Simon Rugongeza, Isaac Nabugere, David Kabugo, and Isaac Ariho.
It means a lot to Uganda and to Uganda Woodball Federation because Woodball is one of the flag bearers.
The girls section has Christine Birungi, Noelin Babidye, Joan Mokova, Joyce Nalubega, Sanyo Mirembe, Florence Mukoya, and Shakira Nagudi.
As a senior player who has been there, I've now gained some experience. I promise to do my best and a good performance at the World Cup.
The 10th Woodball World Cup, which will run concurrently with the 26th Malaysian Open, is scheduled to take place from 24th July to 30th July 2026 in Arau Palis, Malaysia.
They should expect
the best from me as an individual and from the team, because the selected team is a very good team.
According to the national head coach Onesmus Atamba, the team's training program is heavily focused on improving scoring techniques, commonly known in the sport as getting.
The team is now well balanced and it is enough team. 8 players, a complete team. I have players who can play fair competition and stroke competition.
Uganda has been to several World Cup tournaments, with its best performance being a silver medal finish a few years back.
John Barnes Centamore reporting there, and that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Rukidi Kiijjanangoma wishing you a blessed night, but do not go away, because up next here on UBC TV is Super Soul Sisters with Jamila Oluka, and that will be followed later on at 10 p.m. by Behind the Headlines. Thank you so much for watching. See you some other time.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UGPass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UGPass, your identity secured. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UGPass is a product of NITA Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take